The cold wind hit Mira's face like sharp ice. She opened her eyes slowly and saw nothing but white snow round her. Her ship was broken. The fire had gone out, her hands were shaking, and her body was numb. She could not feel her legs properly. The crash had thrown her far from the pilot's seat, and now she was lying alone in the snow. Mira was a technician, not a soldier. She had escaped a battle in space. Her ship had no weapons, only tools and supplies. When the warning lights came on, she had tried to fix the engine, but it was too late. The ship had fallen fast. She had landed on a strange planet, cold and silent, with no sign of life. She tried to sit up but fell back down. Her head hurt. The sky was gray, and snow kept falling. Her suit had limited heat. It was made for cold. But not this cold. She reached for her emergency bag and pulled out a small beacon. The screen showed no signal. The ice storm was too strong. She was trapped. Mira curled up, trying to save heat. Her thoughts became slow. She remembered Earth. She remembered her little planet that sat by the window. She had given it a name, Greenie. That made her smile a little. But her eyes were closing. She felt sleepy. Then came the sound. Heavy steps in the snow. Not machines, not human. Something else. She blinked and saw a figure standing above her. Tall, strong, wearing black armor with a thick fur cloak over it. The face was hidden behind a mask with blue lights. Another figure came behind him, shorter and faster. They spoke in a strange language, clicking and sharp. Then one of them leaned close. She is not one of us. The taller one said in deep, careful words. But she breathes, said the second voice. What do we do? Take her. She will not live. Out here. Mira felt arms lift her. She was too tired to resist. Warm fabric touched her skin. She closed her eyes again and did not open them for a long time. When she woke, she was in a warm place. Not soft, but warm. The walls were stone. The roof looked like a cave. A fire burned in the center, and strange tools hung from the walls. She was lying on thick blankets made of alien fur. Her suit had been opened just enough for medical patches. She was covered well. Mira sat up slowly. Her head still hurt, but the warmth helped her think clearly. You are awake, a voice said. She turned and saw the tall alien. His face was now uncovered. He had dark, smooth skin with patterns like small scales. His eyes were sharp and golden. And he looked serious. I am Thorn, he said. You are human, yes? Mira nodded. Yes, my name is Mira. You are lucky, Thorn said. Most would freeze before we find them. Thank you, she said. Her voice was weak. Another alien entered. This one looked younger. He had curious eyes and held a bowl of hot liquid. This is Kai, Thorn said. He found you. Kai placed the bowl near her. Drink. It helps your blood stay warm. Mira took the bowl. The drink was thick and salty, but it warmed her stomach. You crash here? Kai asked. Yes, she said. My ship broke during escape. You run from the war, Thorn said. She nodded again. I'm not a soldier. I only fix things. Thorn watched her carefully. Then he said, This world is not kind. It kills. During the night, we stay alive by sharing heat. It is our way. Mira looked at him, confused. We call it the cold sleep, Kai explained. When the sun sets, the caves freeze. Only heat from other bodies keeps life. Mira blinked. You mean you stay close? Yes, Thorn said. We lie close, together, or alone we die. She looked down, unsure what to say. Thorn continued. You must choose. Join in cold sleep or face the freeze. We do not harm. It is only survival. Mira felt strange. She had not expected this, but their words were calm, not threatening. They were offering safety, not control. I understand, she said softly. You have time, Thorn said. Tonight comes soon. Decide before sunset. The day passed slowly. Mira rested and watched the cave. There were 5 alien warriors in total, all strong, quiet, and well-trained. They moved with purpose. Some checked weapons, others cooked. Kai stayed close and answered her questions. He showed her a small crystal that glowed when near metal. He told her stories of how their people once worked with humans before the war began. Most had lost trust, but he was still curious. "You are different," he said. "You do not fear us. I'm too cold to be afraid," she said with a tired smile. As the sky outside darkened, Mira saw the others prepare. Thick blankets were laid out. Fire was made strong. They removed parts of their armor and wrapped themselves with care. Thorn returned to her side. He said nothing at first. Then he placed a warm blanket in her hands. "Choose now," he said. "Kai or me?" Mira looked at them both. Kai smiled, gentle and calm. Thorn stood tall and steady. She thought for a moment, then pointed to Kai. Thorn nodded once. "Good. He's young but honest." Mira sat beside Kai. He helped her lie down and covered them both with fur. His body was warm, not hot, but steady. They lay quietly, side by side, not touching much but close enough to share breath. "You will be fine," Kai said. "You sleep now. Cold will not touch you." As Mira closed her eyes, she felt something strange. Not fear, not shame. Just a strange kind of peace. She had fallen into a world of snow, but maybe, just maybe, it would not be the end. Maybe it was a new beginning. The night passed quietly inside the cave. Outside, the snowstorm howled like a wild animal. Inside, Mira felt the cold trying to creep in, but Kai's steady warmth kept it away. She had never slept like that before, so close to someone she barely knew, and someone not even human. But there was comfort in his presence, a calmness that felt safe. When morning came, she opened her eyes and saw Kai still beside her, resting peacefully. His breathing was slow, and his face was calm. Mira moved carefully, trying not to wake him. She sat up and looked around the cave. Thorn stood by the fire, feeding it with chunks of dry fuel. He saw her and gave a short nod. "You slept well," he said. Mira nodded. "Yes, thank you." Kai woke soon after and smiled when he saw her awake. "No frost on your skin." "That is good." Mira smiled back. "You kept your promise." The others began their morning routine. Mira noticed how disciplined they were. Every task had a purpose. No one wasted time. They cleaned their weapons, checked supplies, and adjusted armor straps. Mira tried to stay out of the way, but Thorn called her over. "Come," he said. "We talk now." She stood and walked to him. The fire warmed her face as she sat near it. Thorn looked serious, more than usual. "You understand last night was not choice," he said. "It was survival." "I understand," Mira said. "Tonight will be colder," Thorn said. "Storm is growing. Wind will be sharper. Fire will not help enough." Mira looked into the flames. "You mean I will have to share warmth again?" Thorn nodded. "Yes, but this time, not only warmth. We must seal the heat. That means full contact. No armor, no space between." Mira felt her heart beat faster. "That's hard for me," she said slowly. "I'm not used to it, I know." Thorn said, "It is not easy for us either. We do not do this with strangers." But the cold does not wait for comfort. Kai joined them, sitting beside Mira. "You can share space with me again if you like." Mira glanced at him. He was kind, gentle. But she could see he was also unsure. This was not normal for him either. "You both act like it is a rule," Mira said. "Who made this rule?" "Our bodies made it," Thorn said. "Without contact, we lose warmth. Without warmth, we sleep forever." Mira stayed quiet for a moment. She was not afraid, but she needed time to think. "Are there other ways?" she asked. Kai looked at Thorn. Thorn shook his head. "There are blankets, fire, but they are not enough. Not on a world like this." Mira stood and walked to the edge of the cave. Snow still fell outside, soft and steady. The sky was white. There was no sign of help. Her beacon still showed no signal. She looked back at the group. They had saved her life. They had made space for her in their camp. Now they were asking her to follow their way. Not for power, but to survive. She turned to Thorn. "I need time. Today, I need to prepare." He nodded once. "You have until night." Mira spent the day exploring the inner parts of the cave. Kai showed her the storage area, where food was kept in metal crates. Some of it was strange to her, like dried roots and glowing fruit, but some looked like dried meat and cooked grains. She helped Kai boil water and mix it with the food. They shared a quiet meal. "You are strong," Kai said. "I don't feel strong," Mira replied. "You came from the stars alone," he said. "You fell from the sky and lived. That is strong." Mira smiled a little. "I guess I didn't have a choice." "Still strong," Kai said. Later, Thorn gave her a small device. It was a heater crystal. "Warm to the touch. Keep this close," he said. "It helps your heart stay calm." "Thank you," she said. "You are one of us now, even if just for a while," he said. That surprised her. She did not feel like one of them. She was human. They were warriors from a different world. But maybe survival made all creatures equal. As the sky darkened again, Mira felt the cold creeping in. The fire burned bright, but she knew it would not be enough. She looked at Thorn and Kai. "I have made my choice," she said. Both looked at her. Thorn waited in silence. Kai looked hopeful. "I will stay with Thorn tonight," she said. Kai blinked but nodded. "He is strong. You will be safe." Thorn gave a short bow. "I will keep you warm." Mira walked toward the sleeping area. Thorn laid out thick furs and removed his armor. She turned away, trying not to feel awkward. Then she took off her suit layer. Leaving only her base clothes, she lay beside him and wrapped herself in the fur. Thorn lay close, not touching at first. Then he placed his arm gently around her, allowing their bodies to share heat. "Breathe slow," he said. She nodded. The cold had already faded. His body was like a stone oven, strong and steady. The blanket held in their warmth. "You are brave," Thorn said. "I don't feel brave," Mira whispered. "You do what you must," he said. "That is enough." Mira closed her eyes. Her thoughts floated like snowflakes in the wind. She felt her body relax. The heat wrapped around her like a shield. And for the second time, she survived the cold. Not by strength. Not by weapons, but by sharing trust with those who were once strangers. The morning came with a quiet sky. The storm had passed during the night. Mira opened her eyes and found herself still close to Thorn. His arm was around her, but he was already awake. He moved carefully, giving her space. "You did not shake." "In your sleep," Thorn said. "That means the cold did not win." Mira gave a small smile. "Thanks to you." Thorn sat up and put on his armor piece by piece. Mira did the same with her suit. The fire was low, and only Kai remained near it. The others were outside, checking supplies and watching the sky. Mira sat near Kai and took a deep breath. The air inside the cave was dry but much better than outside. She looked around and saw how organized everything was. Each warrior had a place and a task. Even though she was the outsider, they had made room for her. Kai handed her a small piece of dried fruit. "Eat this, it gives strength." Mira accepted it. "What is it?" "We call it kaira root," he said. "It grows under the snow. Very rare." She took a bite. It was bitter, but filled her with warmth. "You chose Thorn," Kai said after. A pause. Mira looked at him. "Yes. Was that wrong?" Kai shook his head. "No. Thorn is wise. He may not smile, but he protects what matters." Mira felt a little unsure. "I hope I didn't hurt your feelings." "No," Kai said. "I only wanted to help. I still do." Mira smiled. "Then we're friends." He smiled back. "Yes, friends." Later, Thorn called Mira to the far side of the cave. There, strange machines were placed near a glowing map. He pointed to a blinking red mark. "This was your ship," he said. "The signal is weak but not dead." Mira stepped closer. "You found it. We tracked the heat signature." He said, "It is buried under snow but not destroyed." Mira felt a mix of hope and worry. "Can I go there?" "Not yet," Thorn said. "It is 2 nights away on foot. The cold grows stronger each night." "I need something from it," Mira said. "My repair tools and extra signal booster. Without them, I can't contact anyone." Thorn nodded. "We will make a plan. But we move as one. If you go, we all go." Mira was surprised. Why would you all help me? You are part of the camp now, Thorn said. You survived with us, so we protect you. Mira looked at his face. It was still serious. But his voice had changed. It was no longer distant. It carried respect. That day, she spent more time with Kai. He showed her how to make small fire stones. He also taught her how to listen to the wind. When the wind whistled low, it meant safety. When it howled, it meant a storm was near. Mira shared her knowledge too. She explained how human ships worked and how she had learned to fix broken engines. She told stories from Earth, green trees, blue skies, and warm beaches. Kai listened with wonder. Your world sounds like a dream, he said. It's home, Mira said. But I don't know if I'll ever see it again. Kai looked serious for a moment. You will. I believe it. That night, the cold came again, sharper than before. This time, Mira did not hesitate. She lay beside Thorn under the thick fir, already knowing what to expect. The silence between them was no longer heavy. It was peaceful. You do not fear us anymore, Thorn said. I never feared you, Mira replied. I just didn't understand you. Most humans do not try to understand, he said. I had no choice, Mira said. But now I want to. Thorn was quiet for a moment. Then he said, our people were once part of the Great Alliance. We worked with many kinds, humans too. But something broke. Trust was lost. Why? Mira asked. A mission failed. Thorn said, no one took the blame. Everyone pointed fingers. Many died. Mira felt sad. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You were not part of it, he said. But your kind left without a word. We were left behind. Mira placed her hand gently on the fur between them. Maybe not all humans are the same. Thorn looked at her, his golden eyes thoughtful. You are not the same. They said nothing more. The wind outside howled for hours, but the warmth between them held strong. The next morning, Commander Varn returned to the cave after checking the far ridge. He was older than the others, his armor marked with signs of many battles. He looked at Mira with a strong gaze. You live again. He said, yes, Mira answered. You are not weak, Varn said. That is good. She stood tall. I want to go back to my ship. I can boost the signal. We know, Varn said. But it will be hard. You must be ready. I am ready, she said. Varn nodded. Then tomorrow we move, the other warriors began to prepare. Extra furs were packed. Tools were checked. Spears and sensors were loaded into bags. It was not a rescue mission. It was survival. That night, Mira sat with Kai near the fire. You will see your ship again, he said. I hope so, she said. But I'm more thankful for something else. What? Then I met all of you. She said, I thought I was alone. You are not alone now, Kai said. You are with us. Mira looked around. The cave felt less like a shelter and more like a home. The warriors were no longer strangers. They were strange, yes, but they were also brave, kind, and full of quiet honor. She had fallen into their world by accident, but now she was part of it by choice. The sky turned dark before the morning was over. Thick clouds covered the sun, and cold wind moved through the cave like a warning. Commander Varn stood near the entrance, watching the storm grow. The others packed quickly. Mira stayed near Thorn, helping where she could. We must wait, Varn said. The storm will not let us travel now. Thorn nodded. We stay inside until it passes. Mira looked outside. Snow fell fast, thick like a white curtain. The sound of the wind grew louder. Every minute, it was stronger than anything she had seen before. How long will it last? She asked. Maybe one day. Kai said, maybe 3. The ice storm does not follow rules. Everyone returned deeper into the cave. Fire was made stronger. Blankets were placed against the walls to block wind. The cave, once calm and quiet, now felt like a closed shell, warm but tense. The group gathered around the fire. Varn drew marks on a flat rock, showing the path they would take once the storm ended. Mira watched closely. The distance to her ship was not far, but the snow made it dangerous if we wait too long. The ship might sink deeper, she said. Varn looked at her. Do you wish to risk life for old metal? It's not just metal, Mira said. My beacon booster is there. If I can reach it, I can call for rescue. The warriors stayed silent. Then Thorn spoke. She is right. If her beacon works, we can leave this planet. Varn nodded. Then we wait for the right time. That evening, the storm hit harder. The wind shook the walls of the cave. Snow began to fall inside through small cracks. Mira helped Kai fill those cracks with thick cloth and clay. Her hands hurt from the cold. But she did not stop. Your fingers are red, Kai said. I'll be fine, she replied. He gave her a warm stone to hold. This helps. She smiled and took it. Thanks. Later, Mira sat near her pack, checking the small human ration she had saved. There were emergency bars dry but full of energy. She had only a few left, but enough to help. She brought them to Thorn and Varn. These don't taste good, but they give strength. We can share. Thorn took one and studied it. You offer this to us? Yes, Mira said. You saved me. Now I want to help. Varn took a bar and broke it in half. He smelled it, then took a bite. He chewed slowly, then nodded. Strange taste, but strong food. The warriors accepted the bars without complaint. Mira felt proud. She was no longer just a guest. She was part of their group. By nightfall, the storm reached its peak. The fire flickered low, and even the thick fur could not stop the cold completely. Everyone moved closer. Mira sat between Thorn and Kai, wrapped in layers. We must use less fire, Kai said. We are low on fuel. Then we stay close, Thorn said. Mira agreed. Warmth is the only thing we can trust right now. The cave was silent except for the wind outside. Snow pushed hard against the walls, and the entrance was slowly being covered. Varn stood guard, checking the airflow. He placed a stick at the entrance and watched as it filled with snow. If this storm lasts more days, we may be trapped, he said. Mira looked at the map. The ship was not far, but they could not reach it like this. She felt a small panic grow inside, but she pushed it away. We'll find a way, she said to herself. The next morning, the cave was cold even with the fire. The fuel was almost gone. Mira woke up feeling stiff. She rubbed her hands and stood, helping Kai prepare breakfast. It was simple warm water with root powder, but it gave some energy. Later, Thorn showed Mira a broken heat coil near the wall. It was part of an old system the warriors had built long ago, but it had stopped working. Can you fix this? He asked. Mira studied the coil. The wiring was old, but the shape was still correct. She opened her bag and pulled out her repair tools. I'll try. She worked slowly, fingers numb from the cold. She cleaned the wires, replaced a broken fuse, and rewired the small panel. After an hour of work, she asked Thorn to switch it on. The soft hum filled the air. Then the wall began to warm. Not much, but enough to feel. It works, Kai said with surprise. You fixed it, Thorn said. Mira smiled. A little warmth is better than none. You carry the mind of a builder. Varn said, I fix things. That's what I do, she said. You may have fixed more than wires, Thorn said quietly. Mira looked at him. He did not explain, but she understood. Her actions were earning trust. That evening, the group sat around the now slightly warmer wall. The storm was still strong, but the mood was different. They had food, they had fire, and they had hope. Kai showed Mira a small wooden object. It was a carving of a creature from his world, long legs and many eyes. This is a gift, he said. For luck. Mira took it carefully. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thorn spoke next. You have survived many nights now. You are no longer outsider. I feel like part of the team, Mira said. You are, Varn said. When the storm ends, we go to your ship, together. Mira nodded. She felt ready. Outside, the wind still screamed, but inside, warmth and trust had grown stronger. They had faced the storm, not with power or weapons, but with unity, patience, and shared strength. And the cold, for now, had failed. The storm began to fade on the third morning. Snow still fell, but the wind was quiet now. The sky outside the cave was pale blue for the first time in days. Mira stood near the entrance, watching the snow sparkle in the light. Behind her, Thorn and Kai packed supplies. The others checked their weapons and tools. They were ready to move. Varn gave the signal. We leave in 1 hour. Walk slow. Stay close. The path is deep. Mira looked at Thorn. Will we find the ship? He nodded. If the snow didn't bury it too deep, we will. Mira helped carry a bag of supplies. She wore extra furs given by Kai and had a walking stick, shaped from strong wood. The group stepped into the snow, one by one, forming a line. The snow reached Mira's knees, but her suit and boots kept her warm. Her breath made clouds in the air. Every step was slow but steady. After some time, the path became steep. They reached a wide hill. At the top, they paused to rest. Mira sat on a rock, drinking warm water from a metal cup. Thorn sat beside her. He looked at the white land in silence. You have been quiet today, Mira said. I always am, Thorn replied. She smiled. True, but this is different. He took a deep breath. This place brings old memories. Things I do not like to remember. Mira waited. She didn't push him. After a moment, he continued. Years ago, I was part of a mission. We were part of the old alliance. We worked with humans. Mira looked at him. You did? Yes, he said. I was younger. A guard for a research team. We trusted each other. We shared knowledge, tools, even food. What happened? She asked gently. There was an accident, Thorn said. A power core failed. Fire spread through the station. Some tried to escape. Others stayed to help. My group tried to control the fire. He looked down at his gloves. We lost contact with the human team. When help arrived, many were gone. The humans believed we left them behind. But we didn't. We tried. We just failed. I'm sorry. Mira said softly. Thorn nodded. After that, humans stopped working with us. They called us untrustworthy, dangerous. Do you believe that? She asked. I believe we were cursed, he said. For a long time, I kept away from humans. Until now, Mira placed a hand on his arm. You saved me. That proves more than old stories. He looked at her. You changed my thoughts. You stayed calm. You helped. You listened. And you protected me, she said. He gave a small nod. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. Mira smiled. Then maybe the past can be left behind. The others called them forward. The ship was close. Thorn stood, helping Mira to her feet. Let us finish what we started, he said. After one more hour of walking, they reached a flat area. The snow was deep, but a small metal piece peeked through the surface. That's it, Mira said. That's the wing. The group began digging. They used tools and heat sticks to melt the snow slowly. Bit by bit, the ship appeared. The body was broken, but the inside looked safe. Mira climbed in first. The others followed, checking for danger. Inside, the air was cold but still. She moved fast, stepping over wires and broken panels. She reached a small locker and pulled out a metal case. Inside was her beacon booster and repair tools. This is it, she said. I can use this to reach the main signal tower. Varn examined the case. How long will it take? Maybe 1 hour, Mira replied. But I need power. We give what we can, Thorn said. They helped her connect the booster. Mira sat down, opened the panel, and began her work. Her hands moved quickly. She checked each wire, cleaned the dust, and connected the crystal inside. The machine blinked once, then again. A soft hum filled the room. It's working, she said. Signal is rising. The group stood around her, watching the screen. Will it reach your people? Kai asked. I don't know, she said. But it will send out my code every hour. If someone is near, they'll hear it. Varn nodded. Good. Then we wait. That night, they stayed inside the broken ship. The walls gave enough cover. The fire burned slowly in a metal tray. Mira sat with Thorn again. They shared a blanket and listened to the wind outside. You shared something today, Mira said. Something heavy. Yes, Thorn replied. And I feel lighter now. She looked at him. Do you still think humans can't be trusted? He shook his head. I think trust must be built, not given, and you build it. Mira leaned her head against his shoulder. You did too. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Their silence now had meaning. It was a sign of peace, not fear. Late in the night, Kai stood watch near the broken door. Snow had stopped falling. The sky was clear. Stars filled the sky like soft lights. He looked up and whispered to himself, maybe tomorrow we hear something. Inside, Mira slept beside Thorn, wrapped in warmth and trust, and above them, her signal floated through space, searching for someone to answer. The next morning, the ship was quiet. Thin light came through the cracks in the walls. The snow had finally stopped. A calm silence covered the land. Mira opened her eyes slowly. Thorn was already awake, sitting by the fire, sharpening a tool. She sat up and stretched. Her back hurt from the hard floor, but she was used to it now. Life with the alien warriors had taught her how to survive without comfort. She stood, walked over to the fire, and sat beside Thorn. Any signal? She asked. He shook his head. Not yet, Mira sighed. Maybe today. Varn walked in from outside. Sky is clear. Cold is strong, but safe enough to travel. Mira looked at him. We need to reach high ground. The signal tower will work better there. Varn pointed at a tall ridge in the distance. That place may work, but the climb is hard. I can do it, Mira said. Thorn turned to her. It is too risky. The wind is stronger up there. You could fall. I have to try, Mira said. The beacon needs a better line. I know what I'm doing. Kai stepped forward. Let me go with her. Mira shook her head. Only one should go. Let's wait. Less risk. You are human. Thorn said. Your body is not made for this weather. Mira smiled softly. But I've lived through it. Thanks to all of you. Thorn stayed silent. He looked at her with careful eyes. She knew he was worried. She was too. But this was the only way. She had come too far to give up now. Varn gave a slow nod. Then we prepare. You leave in 1 hour. Mira checked her pack. She took only what was needed: her booster, a heat stone, and climbing gloves. Thorn gave her a small rope and a light spear for balance. Kai placed a warm crystal in her hand. For your chest, he said. Keep it close to your heart. Thank you, she said. The group stood at the edge of the hill. The wind was cold, but the sky was clear. The ridge looked far but possible. Mira breathed in deeply and began the climb. Each step was hard. The snow reached her knees. Her gloves became wet. Her feet sank deep. But she kept going. Halfway up, the wind grew stronger. Ice crystals hit her face, making it hard to see. She pushed forward, using the spear to stay steady. Her legs began to shake, but she didn't stop. She looked back. The group was watching from below. Thorn stood still, eyes on her. She gave a small wave, then turned and kept climbing. Near the top, the path became steep. She crawled on her hands and knees. The air was thin. Her breath came fast. She reached a large flat stone and sat down. She pulled out the booster. Her fingers moved quickly. She placed it on the stone and connected the wires. The light on the beacon blinked once. Then again. Then it turned green. Signal active. She whispered. The screen showed a rising bar. It reached the halfway point. Then full. Mira smiled. A soft beep confirmed it. The message was sent. She sat back, breathing hard. Her body was tired, but her heart was full. She had done it. From below, the group saw the small green light from the ridge. Varn gave a short nod. She did it, Kai said. Thorn stepped forward. Prepare a place for her to rest when she returns. Varn looked at him. You trust her more than most. Thorn's voice was steady. She has earned it. Mira climbed down slowly. Her legs were weak, her fingers numb. But the warm crystal near her heart helped her stay steady. When she reached the base, Thorn ran to help her. You made it, he said, holding her arm. She nodded. Too tired to speak, the others wrapped her in warm blankets and brought her near the fire. Kai gave her hot liquid to drink. Varn looked at the screen. Message sent. Code clear. Now we wait. Mira rested beside Thorn, her head on his shoulder. Her eyes closed. She didn't need to say anything. The look on her face said everything. That night, the stars filled the sky. Mira opened her eyes and saw the lights above. She sat beside Thorn again, watching the sky. The snow was calm, the wind gentle. "You were right," Thorn said. "You knew what to do." "I just did what had to be done," Mira replied. "You always say that," he said. "But not all can do what you did." Mira looked at him. "You helped me. Without you, I wouldn't have made it." Thorn was quiet. Then he said, "When this is over, will you leave?" She looked down. "If rescue comes, I have to. But I don't want to forget this place. Or you. You changed something inside me," Thorn said. "I no longer see humans as I did before. And I don't see aliens as enemies anymore," she said. They sat in silence again. But it was warm, not cold. Just before morning, the beacon flashed. A message returned. Signal received. Rescue ship en route. Varn read the message out loud. The group stood in silence. Then Kai smiled. "They're coming," he said. Mira stood slowly. "We did it." Thorn looked at her. "You did it." The group began preparing. They gathered tools and packed supplies. The ship would arrive in a day. Mira walked outside. The sky was turning gold with the morning sun. She breathed in the cold air and smiled. She had come to this world by accident. She had survived by learning to trust. And now she would leave, not as a visitor, but as someone who had earned her place. The rescue ship arrived just before sunrise. A deep hum filled the sky as it landed on the frozen field near the cave. The warriors stood still, watching with quiet eyes. This was the first human ship they had seen in many seasons. Mira stood beside Thorn and Kai. Her clothes were worn. Her face looked tired, but her eyes were calm. She did not look like someone who needed help. She looked like someone who had been tested and had passed. The ship's ramp lowered slowly. Two humans in thick suits stepped out. They held scanners and looked around carefully. One of them saw Mira and ran forward. "Are you Mira Harris?" Mira nodded. "Yes, we received your beacon. We came as fast as we could. Are you hurt? Are there others with you?" She shook her head. "I'm all right, and yes, I'm with them." She turned and pointed toward the alien warriors. The humans looked surprised. "These aliens helped me survive," Mira said. "They saved my life." The humans exchanged a look. One of them stepped forward slowly and nodded at Commander Varn. "I'm Lieutenant Darren, Rescue Unit 4, he said. "We come in peace." Varn looked at him with calm eyes. "We accept." There was silence then. Mira smiled. She looked back and forth between them. "This is a good start," she said. Inside the ship, Mira sat in the medical room while a doctor scanned her body. Her skin was cold. Her muscles were weak, but she had no serious injuries. "You're lucky," the doctor said. "Most wouldn't last more than tonight's out there." "I had help," Mira said. She looked out the window. She could see Thorn standing near the ramp, watching the snowy horizon. "Those aliens," the doctor said. "What do they want?" "They want to live," Mira said. "Just like us." Later that day, Mira stood with Thorn and Varn in the center of the field. The snow had stopped again. A pale sun glowed above. "We will leave soon," Mira said. "But I won't forget this place." Varn nodded. "You were different from the others. You did not fight. You listened. You listened to," she said. Kai stepped forward. "Will you come back one day?" Mira smiled. "Maybe, if I can." Thorn looked at her. "You have a place here now. With us." She looked at him. Her eyes were soft. "Thank you." Varn opened a small metal box. Inside was a silver mark shaped like a flame. "This is a warrior's sign," he said. "We offer it to those who earn our respect." He placed it in Mira's hand. "You may be human, but today, you are one of us." Mira held the mark tightly. "I will carry this always." When it was time to go, Mira stood at the base of the ship's ramp. The engines were warm. The crew waited inside. Thorn stood beside her. He did not speak at first, but his eyes said, "Many things. You changed the way I see humans," he said, "and you changed the way I see aliens." She said. They stood quietly, The wind blew between them. It was cold, but not painful. Goodbye, Thorn, she said. He nodded. Not goodbye, just until next time. She smiled and turned toward the ramp. Kai waved. Stay strong. Mira, I will, she said. She stepped into the ship. The door closed behind her. As the ship lifted off, Mira looked through the window. The white land below became smaller. The cave, the ridge, and the warriors faded into the snow. A single green flame mark sat in her hand. She pressed it to her chest and closed her eyes. Back on the alien world, Thorn stood on the ridge where Mira had once climbed. He looked up at the sky. The clouds were clear. The stars were sharp. He did not say anything. He only looked. Then, slowly, he walked back to the camp. 1 week later, Mira stood in front of the United Space Council on a floating station near Jupiter. She wore clean clothes now. Her hair was neat. Her eyes were focused. The council members sat in a circle. One of them spoke. You were rescued from an uncharted world. You survived by living among alien warriors. And now, you say they are not enemies. They are not. Mira said. Another member asked, do you suggest peace? With them, I suggest we start with understanding, Mira said. They saved me. I learned their way. And I saw honor in them. What do they want from us? They want to be left in peace. But they are open to talk. The council was quiet. Then the lead member leaned forward. You have done something rare, Mira. You built trust where no trust existed before. Mira took out the silver mark and placed it on the table. They gave me this. She said, a warrior's sign. I am the first human to carry it. The room was still. Then the lead member said, we will send a message to their world. You will be our voice. Mira nodded. I'm ready. That night, Mira sat in her small room on the station. She looked at the stars through her window. She held the mark again. It felt warm in her hand. Far away, Thorn might be standing under the same stars. Maybe he was thinking of her too. She smiled. This was not the end. This was only the beginning of something greater. A new story. A new alliance.